So in today's video, I wanted to talk about something very important, and I've already made a video about this because I made a video about why monk mode is a scam. And in this video, I went to this short video, of course, because I only have 5 minutes because I don't have the plus version of Loom. But in this short, like 5 minute video, I want to explain why self-experimentation goes beyond self-improvement. So why do I actually say that? So if I actually make this screen a little bit bigger. So why do I say that self-experimentation goes a little bit above self-improvement? So first of all, I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory, right? So back when I was like 16, I started this journey, as you guys can have seen from my previous video, like monk mode. Back when I was like 16, I started my self-improvement journey, which was back in 2020. So it was like COVID lockdown type shit. And right now I'm 21, so it's like 5 years of full experience in this game. And back when I was like 16, I actually went on my very first monk mode, which was back in January of 2020 till all the way to like September 2020, right? So it's like 9 months or something. So I went 9 months on this monk mode. That was actually pretty good because back then, of course, it was called like dopamine detox and stuff. And it was a pretty good experience, right? But as I got older, like when I got like 18, 19, like it's very actually hard to type on this shit, 20, like I'm 21 now, I developed this mindset that routine is everything. And that is when I got fixated on the belief that basically you need routine always. Like you need every single day, you need a routine. It's kind of like this military routine that you know every single day what you need to do. Of course, it has its benefits. I'm not saying that it doesn't have its benefits. It's good if you use it that way. But when you do this military routine for a very long time, what happens is that you get stuck. And what do you get stuck at? You get stuck at one-dimensional thinking. So you get stuck into this one-dimensional thought pattern where you think that, okay, if I just act like this, then I will achieve success. And of course, in my previous videos also, I talked about what success is. Success is a very subjective term, and it's a very funny term. Like Bob Proctor said in one of his interviews that success is different for everybody, right? So when we're talking about young people in general, like myself, success for a lot of young people is like fame, money, women, status, like whatever, right? So climbing up this ladder in the hierarchy of status, right? But if you're between the age of like 16 when I started till like 30, what I highly suggest from 5 years of experience is you should not go on monk mode. And the reason for that is because you lack experience. And because you lack the big A of experience, and because you lack experience, what you want to do, actually what you are going to do, because you listen to a lot of these self-improvement YouTubers, you lock yourself up in a room to build a 10K per month business. It has, once again, its benefits. I'm just giving my own perspective to the story. But when you do this as a young man, what happens is that you don't actually experience both sides of the spectrum. You don't really experience life. And what you need to do in order to experience life is you need to experience the good, and you need to also experience the bad. Because you don't know what the bad is if you've never experienced the good. And if you don't know what the bad is if you've never experienced the good, but you don't know what the good is if you've never experienced the bad. You need both sides of the spectrum. Maybe you can find a balance and, of course, more lean towards the good side, but not everything is good and not everything should be good, right? It's a law of polarity, which is one of the laws of the universe, which states that everything has its own polar opposite. Like everything has its own polar opposite, which means that everything that is good is also looked from another perspective can also be bad, and everything that is bad looked from the other perspective can also be good. Once again, the law of polarity. The entire universe is governed by laws, right? So if you're between the age of like 16, like I said, till 30, what you need to do is you need to actually expand your horizon as much as possible. You need to actually experience life as much as possible. This is what I preach in my videos. Like you need to go outside. You don't need to sit in your room 24/7. Of course, you can have time. I still do that. Like to sit in your room, like do something productive, right? Of course, I'm not knocking that down, but you cannot do that 24/7. Like you need to go outside. You need to talk to people. You need to network. You need to do this. You need to do a lot of things. Like you should spend your time more outside than inside. Like you can give yourself an excuse to stay inside, and that's to only eat shit and basically do something very productive. Like, for example, recording this video, I'm inside of my room right now, or doing something else productive. But at the end of the day, you should go outside. You should live life, because with living life, that is where the wisdom lies. And when you get the wisdom, you can actually find a way to cultivate that wisdom and actually teach it to somebody else and actually monetize it.